My name is Rayna Onan. I am a professional shark diver and underwater photographer here in West Palm Beach, Florida. I've been around the water for as long as I can remember. It was all I've ever really wanted to do. I got dive certified when I was very young, and sharks were immediately a fascination. I was almost never scared of them. They were just something that I found so beautiful. And my passion really led me to sharks because I think they're incredibly misunderstood. And what I really want to show people is how beautiful they are and how important they are to our ocean's ecosystems. So the two sharks that we see most commonly in this area are lemon sharks and bull sharks, and they are vastly different in terms of personality. Lemon sharks kind of seem aloof to me. They're kind of like puppies, like they're kind of all over each other. They don't mind touching each other. They don't really have any sort of order to them. But in terms of bull sharks, you can definitely tell the biggest female is the alpha, and she is controlling the entire situation. So you have very different personalities with sharks. I kind of refer to it as when you're looking at a breed of dog, you can expect a different personality from a golden retriever versus like a chihuahua, but every individual is different. And that's one of my favorite things about diving here is getting to know individual sharks that come here year after year. Like I've known sharks here for over 6 years, and it's cool to see them come back every season. I have known Snooty for 6 years, 6 or 7 years at this point. She is one of my favorite sharks that I've ever met in my entire life. She has such a unique personality, and she does have that unique mouth deformation that makes her smile. Sadly, we have not seen her in over a year. She, based on the age we think she is towards the upper end of a lemon shark's lifespan, or what we believe to be a lemon shark's lifespan. So it is possible that she has passed away due to old age, or something, or moved on. I choose to believe that she has just moved on and swimming somewhere happily, but I've not seen her in a while. It makes me very sad because she truly was my favorite shark. I think the biggest misconception about sharks is that they are mindless man-eaters, that if you see one, they want to attack you, which couldn't be further from the truth. 99% of the time, a shark is going to see you and go the other way. You are big and scary and making a lot of noise. So you are not on the food list for sharks. Even something big like a bull shark, they're eating fish that are maybe about a foot or two long. You are way bigger than that. So the fact is, if you see a shark in the wild, most of the time they're going to stay as far away as possible from you and not even come check you out. I definitely understand that there is a spot in media for scary shark movies. I mean, people love them, but I think it is up to the media to change our rhetoric around sharks. You know, when someone gets bit by a shark that's near a fishing pier, the shark didn't attack someone. Someone was bit by a shark. So just the language we use around sharks should definitely be changed to make sharks seem less scary, because in reality, they're not out to get us. They're not coming to attack us. They're just being a predator in the ocean and doing what a predator does. I've never felt scared. Even my first encounter with a great white was here in West Palm Beach without a cage. It swam by me and I didn't feel an ounce of fear, even with, the biggest predatory shark on the planet. It was incredibly beautiful. I think the only thing that's ever scared me around sharks is someone acting erratically. I've seen videos on the internet of people acting dumb or doing dumb things that could possibly get people bit. And at the end of the day, if someone does get bit, it's always the shark's fault. It's never the human's fault. So that's the only thing that's ever scared me in terms of sharks. I think one of my favorite moments, and it really it put into perspective sharks and their being, is I had this massive silky shark about a year ago, and it came in and it was covered in fishing line, and you could tell it was really struggling to swim. It had cuts all over its body from the fishing line tearing into it, and I was able to free it from all of the fishing line and remove several hooks. And that shark, once I got those lines off, like multiple people on this dive could attest that immediately its gear switched. It became the sweetest shark. It like didn't want to leave our side, even if we didn't have bait. It was just so grateful, which I know is putting a human emotion on an animal that probably doesn't have them, but there's something about it that just seems so like grateful is like the best term I could use. And it was cool that the shark could tell that we were trying to help it. After the first few times cutting line off it, it would come right up to us and basically stop swimming so that we could help it. It knew what we were doing. So it's cool that the dives that I do allow us to interact with ocean wildlife in a safe way and actually benefit the ocean wildlife that we're seeing. I think one destination that stands out to me is the Red Sea. I didn't really think it was going to be as amazing as it was. It's also very interesting biologically because the salt content is a lot higher than other places. So diving, you need a lot more weight to get down, but it is really, really healthy. The coral is so vibrant. There's so much life. You can see different sharks in different locations. So I thought that was a really cool place. I would love to go back there. I think my bucket list location right now is Ningaloo on the west coast of Australia. I've just seen such amazing things there. It kind of reminds me of a little bit like Jupiter. Every season is very intense. So you get whales, you get turtles, you get sharks. So I love the place where you can have really high biodiversity. I don't want this to come off blasé or anything, but diving is almost like driving now. Like it almost doesn't take any mental effort, which is very cool. Sometimes I do have to remind myself, I am breathing underwater right now, which honestly is so cool. Like I've been scuba diving for over half my life and it's kind of crazy that we can do it. So it doesn't really take a lot of mental energy, but with the sharks, you do have to be always aware. You can't just dive and not really pay attention. Your head is on a swivel at all times. And that's kind of why I like shark diving. It really does bring your attention to the present. I feel like with life now, we're all online all the time and we have so many distractions, but when you're in the water, you have to be present in the moment. And that's why I like it. I think for most people, sharks seem so out of reach because they're in the ocean, people are living their normal lives on land. But what I really want to inspire people is to get out there and see the world that we have. The world is mostly covered in water and it's so incredibly beautiful. I got into underwater photography to show people things that they might never see. And I just think if you come to this part of Florida, the sharks are pretty accessible and I think everyone should do it because I truly believe that once you swim with sharks, it does change your perception of them. So get out there, explore the world. Our world is so beautiful. And once you see something, you really want to protect it. So I think the more people that can just get out there will be ocean conservationists.